When's the last time you walked into a local bank branch? It has probably been a while. A new study by consultant Bain Co looks at the future of banking and technology. I'm joined by Gerard du Toit, a partner at Bain and co-author of the report. Nice to see you here.
Thank you.
It's interesting, the survey you did, actually, the report you did, also looked at the experience of being in a bank branch, and perhaps that helps explain also why people aren't rushing into it. They're not positive experiences for those going to the branch.
That's right. We found that about 1 in 12 times that a customer visits a branch, it leads to them being annoyed, frustrated, irritated, making them less likely to recommend that bank to a friend or colleague. Whereas when customers use a mobile device for a routine interaction, it's half as likely to annoy them. And so that difference in experience is very meaningful and significant.
We certainly have seen a lot of banks move more and more toward technology. Where are we in terms of the growth of mobile banking?
So it's accelerating fast, and mobile is now the most used channel in most markets around the world, and certainly in the US it's used more than online for interactions with the bank, and the growth isn't slowing by any means, so we expect to see this continue for some time.
I think one of the most interesting aspects of your report looked at the transaction costs of doing business in the branch, at an ATM, and mobile. So why don't you share some of those numbers?
Sure. So if the mobile or the branch is twice as likely to annoy the customer, it's also 100 times as expensive for the bank as using mobile. So the typical teller transaction, just pure variable costs, so not even thinking about the cost of the building or whatever, the typical teller transaction is about $2 per interaction. Whereas using a mobile device for remote deposit capture or some routine interaction, it's just a couple of pennies. And so there's a compelling case for banks to really teach their customers to use mobile more and more instead of going into the branch for the routine interaction. Both because it saves them money, and for banks it's worth about $3 billion if they take that out, and also because of the better customer experience.
And you found that it also helps with customer retention.
It does. Historically, the conventional wisdom was that the customers who went to the branch are the most loyal customers, and you develop the relationship and so on. But what we found is when we surveyed customers, those who were frequent branch visitors said they were more likely to switch banks than those who were infrequent branch visitors. And the opposite was true for frequent mobile users. The more they used mobile, the less likely they said they were to switch banks. And I think it goes back to that 1 in 12 times you get annoyed when you go into a branch.
Do you think we'll get to the point where there simply are no local bank branches?
So that's certainly a debate. Are they going to go away the same way that you don't see any local video rental stores anymore because Netflix killed those? We're not yet in the camp of them going away completely. But we probably have at least twice as many branches in the US as we're going to need just a few years from now. And if you look to other markets like the Netherlands, where the Dutch visit the branches only about a third of as frequently as Americans do, and leading banks there have shut their branch networks by about 75% of branches because people just stopped visiting them. They didn't have the need for the branch anymore.
What is the holdup to get more customers on mobile? Is the holdup on the part of the bank through technology or something, or is it the holdup on the part of the customer without, I'm thinking of my mother and trying to think of her doing mobile banking, and I'm not sure she would want to do that or be as savvy to do that. I mean, where's the holdup?
The holdup used to be the technology, now it's increasingly the customer. So it's really about changing the behavior of the customers. And the early wins of just, if you build it, they will come, are by and large past, and the younger generations have adopted, but the older customers need a little help in being shown how to use it, to overcome concerns about security. And so it's really a behavior change exercise for banks as opposed to a technology change exercise for banks.
Well, some fascinating findings, Gerard du Toit. Thanks so much for sharing them.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.